Hey guys, we're really close to websites that write themselves. So let me just show you what I did. I took something really technical, and you can pause and read this for a moment if you want, just to get the idea. But it's pretty technical, okay? And I decided to make a pitch out of it. So let me just reset back and kind of make the point. So if you were to put that bit that I just highlighted into a word counter, it was 103 words. Okay? And I wanted to make a pitch out of it, and I did. I got a 323 word pitch, starts with a revolutionary new way to relieve eye irritation. And it is actually. This is a device that vibrates really fast. You put it close to the edge of your sinus here, and you start to cry. And it's safe and FDA approved and all that jazz, and there's no drops to put in your eye. It's really amazing. So anyway, this is an extremely cool pitch. Again, if you want, pause and read. Okay, I'm gonna continue to make the point. So here's how cool this is. This is a pitch written from the ground up. No, not plagiarized or anything. It starts off with a score of 98 in Grammarly. That's like your English teacher giving you a 98% on your writing assignment. Getting a 98 means your content is certainly good enough for the front page of Google. And it was written in a minute. This whole thing that I created took like a minute, two maybe, depending on how much setup you want to include in my breakdown. So it does need to be fact checked. It thought that we were at Issaquah Eye Care because I didn't specify otherwise. It thought there was a team of professionals because I didn't specify otherwise. But this kind of a writer allows me to put background information, the location, the company, whatever I want to put, the product, brand name, the results people get, features. I can put just a couple of blurbs for the background content, okay? And then I can also specify the location, company, phone, things I want to specify. Then I can also specify a tone. Do I want to write friendly or convincingly or engaging or what? And so what professional. So once I get all that done and I start writing, it's no real effort. So let me show you where that goes. I went from there and we started integrating into our builder the ability to do this automatically in the pages. All right. So like if I scroll down, I'm going to just show you what I mean. Here's content for just something I threw in the air. Chicago carpet care, top carpet upholstery cleaning. Okay. Now, if I look at all this section here, right, this took like 2 minutes to create this whole thing. And I didn't even know what the topics were going to be except for this top one and this one here. Everything else was decided for, not by me, but the AI. And it was using zero tone of voice. It's not trying to be interesting or engaging or convincing or professional because I just wanted to see bare bones how it was operating first. And so this is huge. Okay, let me show you what it looks like in the dashboard. I got a couple of things to show you. One of them is exactly that. So if I go to pages, just to make the point, and I'm going to come down, hit edit on a page. Okay, take a look at this. Something new. Type of content that I'm going to write some kind of a opening for so that I can have the system generate all of this for me. Okay, and that's what it did. It created this whole thing for me when I just put in, I think I just put in like this. And then on the second line for a second command to help give it some direction, I put this. Okay, and I just said generate. And the only thing it was asking me was, do I want to overwrite what already exists in here or append, meaning add to it at the bottom, right? So in this case, if I wanted to overwrite it, because maybe I hit the button once, it runs for about 2 minutes, produces all this. If I check it out and it's like, it should try again, I can hit the button again to overwrite and just let it overwrite. Second time, it's probably going to do a heck of a lot better than the first, something like that. Now, really, that's just a question of my inputs. Are my inputs clear or not? Very simple. And with some practice, you get your inputs perfect so that now you can make other pages on the site. Doesn't have to just be Chicago. I can do one of these for Chicago, but I could do another one for Denver, another one for San Francisco. Or if I'm in an area where I know a bunch of cities that surround me, that's just it. I could do one for Chicago, Cicero, Gary, Indiana, cities that are near to Chicago, so that I can create the same topic where we can drive to all those locations. We can drive to them. But totally unique writing each time. And if I decide that one of those pages didn't come out really good, I'm just going to hit generate to rewrite it. Okay? With that in mind, think about the value of that when you can just create pages that rapidly. It takes about 15 minutes to create a page that's deep enough with enough top quality content inside of it, just by going and looking up some keywords. Like I could go, do you know how easy it is to get the idea if you don't even know where you're going with that? Chicago carpet cleaning, okay? I'm gonna look for real companies that are ranking, companies that are doing well. It's like, oh, here's one. I'm gonna open them in a new tab. I'm gonna open the next one down, not Yelp, but the next real company, because I want topics. I'm gonna open the next one. And then that way I can go through those guys and see what they're writing about. And I can decide what I want to write about. I can create the topics one and put them in there as a list of demands, one above the next. For example, just real simple. Write a title for this and a header for that and a paragraph about this and then a header for this. It's going to be subheaders, right? As it goes down the page. And then a paragraph below that. Then write a different header and write a paragraph about that. Write another header, write a paragraph about that. By the time I'm done, I'm probably going to have like an 1,800 word page written for me in about 4 minutes. And it's finished. So if you think, well, it took me probably 5 minutes to put this together, and then 5 minutes to let it run, and then 5 minutes to clean up the results, kind of read through it and fact check it and stuff, because sometimes it adds companies, it adds phone numbers. It's everything from the internet that it thinks ought to come into the next place. Sometimes it adds. So I'll just clean it up, make sure it's good to go. Now again, I only need to do that until I get better at the inputs. Once my inputs are established, then my output is going to control itself. All I need to do is try it a few times for practice. Then, like I said, I can make a version for every different city that I want. So you could turn a website into a bigger website by creating pages for the surrounding cities and stuff, right? So if I'm getting the concepts from these top websites that are ranking, and I'm getting the idea that what I'm going after would be topics like this, I can immediately create my very own topics like that in minutes. It takes, like I said, about 15 minutes to create that page, another 15, another 15, another 15. That's an hour, and I've caught up with that. Another hour, and I've caught up with the other 4. So 2 hours worth of work, I can catch up with this. Another hour and a half, I'll catch up with that. Another hour, I'll catch up with that. And then another hour, you're talking about like 5 hours to recreate enough material to rebuild a website like this from scratch. But this time it's going to be for me. Now, I know I always show brick and mortar. Do you need brick and mortar and locations? No. I don't know any other websites to go to, like for, I don't care, whatever you want to sell, cash gifting, Amazon FOB, stuff like that. There's all these things, right? I never look into them. So consequently, no one ever brings them to me. But anything you want to say, I don't care if it's weight loss. I don't care if it's makeup, training. I don't care, whatever it is, right? You can use the built-in bot editors to make your content so good that it outranks the original companies very often. Your affiliate links can beat the company. And if you want to bring on a downline and create pages for them or something, or have us do it, then that's easy. It's extremely easy to make totally unique content for every next affiliate page. So it's not just a replicated link, but it's not spin tax. Spin tax is Bush League by now. Spin tax is the old way of doing things. Stuff like Spin Rewriter, no more. We don't do that at all. What we use now is top quality AI generated content. As a matter of fact, the one that we care about the most, the one that we like the most, okay? The minimum you can pay for a limited amount of content is $59 a month, just if you were paying for it yourself. And it's using the same engine that we plug into the back end here. For the websites you're getting from us. But there was just recently another $250 million added to them for development, for everything they're doing. I mean, it's at the top of its game and yet at the forefront of where it's going. And all of you guys who get websites from us with that engine encoded into the pages, which is what we're doing, GPT-3, go look it up. That is where you want to be for the content of the future, for being able to rank organically, for even creating the website pages like we have. Treat them like a landing page. Don't have any other pages, delete them or hide them from the menu, top menu. Just have your one page. And guess what? On that page, you're still using our stuff to write into it so that when people hit it, it's going to read incredibly well. So you could run it through ads. It could be through Google Ads, YouTube. It could be through Facebook. Now, let me go a little further with this whole thing because there's more, okay? Somebody asked me once, he goes, well, what if everybody's using bots to write for the front page of the keywords? Then what? And the answer is, well, first of all, they still got to rank. So that's one thing. Second, people still have to want to buy from the pages. I mean, I can write a lot of cool stuff, but am I writing the right stuff? And what about this? Is it hitting the person in the right order? I've got the right deal for you, but it costs $20,000. Maybe I accidentally put that at the top. It's the right information, but it came too soon, didn't it? $20,000, you're out of here, right? If we were talking about that. So what do I have to do? I have to put the information in the right order. Does a bot know what the right order is to get me to buy? No, a bot knows how to predict the kind of writing that goes on, but a bot might get things out of order. So how do we figure out better than just writing top quality content? We want to actually sell the thing, but what if when people are scrolling down our page, they're not doing what we thought they would do? Okay, and that is user tracking. User tracking, we track everything people click on every page. We track how they scroll down. We track where they stop and leave the site. And we track every action on the site. We track the statistics. But when we track the actions, let me make some points here, I guess, by showing you some things, okay? When we track the actions, we say, on these pages, what are the actions? What are the possible things somebody could do on the page? Well, they could click that button or this, or they could click that, or they could click that. These are all clickable things that go somewhere, okay? They're all clickable. And if we want to track it, we could, but there are only certain things that we really care about. We want them to see this video, for example, right? So I'm going to set the goal to hopefully, the idea is 5% of the people land on this page. That's my goal. I want at least 5% to see the video. So I'm going to set that. And I'm going to set it for a high priority, right? So I'm going to say like 5, set it for a high priority. And that way I'm telling the website a goal that I care about, right? And then what if I have a clickable thing like joining the newsletter? I'm probably not going to see it right away. We're improving the way these things read. Sometimes they're hard to tell. Let me pull something from down below though, right? I don't know. This button right here, whatever the button is, okay? It's in the testimonial section, so it's not the right thing. Let's just say I expect 3% signups to my newsletter, right, on high priority, okay? Now, I can sort these goals, you see, right? And I'm making sure that I have goals for everything I really care about. If people join the newsletter, they watch the video, they continue to the buy now page, they fill out the form, they go to the other website where stuff is. I want to know who's doing that useful stuff, right? I really care. So guess what? We've got statistics. Statistics is going to say what's the most watched video, the most redirected links, the most scrolled page. 91.59% of the way scrolled down on the index page makes it the page scrolled down the furthest. Why does that matter? Hopefully a web page is doing its job right, and if it is, people are scrolling pretty much all the way through it, or they're coming down and converting. They're coming down and converting. But if they're not converting, if they're not taking a conversion action, then we don't label them as converted yet, but they're still scrolling. That better lead to something down here that acts like a conversion. Sooner or later, there should be a conversion, or a click to another page acts like a conversion. And then we'll track them on that page, right? So anyway, we also know the section Most viewed section on exit means where did they scroll down to, but then leave the website without doing anything, right? So if for the guys who are scrolling but not converting, when did they stop scrolling and leave? Okay, so isn't that interesting? We have all these sections on the pages, right? For those who aren't sure what a section is, what should I show you for that? Hello, where am I? Okay, a section is like this. This is the about section. This is like blog section or portfolio section, something. This is the main content section with a sidebar, right? This is the client presentation section. This is the call to action section, and so on, okay? Well, as I scroll down, the percent of the page that I'm scrolling down through is being tracked. And if I just kind of like stopped up in here and I just left, I either clicked it off or I just like left the page altogether, you know, something like that. We track that. The point of tracking it is to see how well our page is working, right? That is the monitoring side of the house, is that part. But you know what the other part is? All of those sections, okay, just to make a point, let me go into pages and just show you, like, I don't care which page. They're all the same for this. All these sections, oh, it got hidden while we were working on this other thing. Sorry, I'm going to have to show you later because we're going to put it back in very soon. These sections are tracked. Yeah, okay, I'm not seeing it in here. I'm going to have to show you later. Sorry about that. We're pounding on this stuff. These sections are tracked, and what that means is this. We have rules in the pages, just common sense rules. If people are scrolling down, that's great. It's doing its job. It's doing its job. If they stop, this section that they're quitting on, the most viewed section when they leave, is not doing its job. It's blocking them from continuing. So what are we going to do? We're going to assume this is in the wrong place. So we're going to bump it down, put something else up, and then see how that performs. Hopefully now more people are scrolling further down because this will be a better section. We thought we had it in the right order, but apparently we need to tweak that based on human behavior. And then if they're still not, maybe they scroll down and they hit this again and they leave. Okay, we'll bump it down. Well, if we keep bumping it down and they keep hitting it and leaving, we're going to turn it off. We've got like 5 cycles max that it gets to exist before we turn it off. Okay? Now, there's probably just some section of the page that turned people off. Like maybe this section turned people off. Maybe this section turned people off. You know, maybe this section turned people off. We don't know, but that's just it. We're watching the human behavior, right? So that our pages can learn from the humans who land on them by tracking averages across however many people at a time that we say, 25 or 50 or 100, okay? And then that way, as it's tracking, it's learning and making adjustments. When people click through, we don't count that against scroll downs. That's a conversion, right? But we count the conversions. Those are goals being met. So if we're meeting the goals, great. If we're not meeting the goals, we have choices. If you gave your website a video link that people are supposed to see, okay, I'm not really sure where one is. It's up because we keep moving everything around as we keep playing with stuff. Say you expected somebody to watch a video in here and they're not doing it, okay? Well, first of all, there's 3. You should be so one of these should be getting more love than the other 3 or the other 2 in that case, right? And there's our newsletter, right? If people are scrolling past the newsletter all the time, we need to move the newsletter down because it's too soon. People are skipping it because they're not ready for it, but they'll be more ready for it down here. We should put the newsletter here maybe, right? But our website can make that decision. What if nobody was seeing the videos because they were really, really low on the page, but people weren't scrolling that far? Then the video should get bumped up. And whenever people are here, either they're watching them or scrolling past them, right? Whatever ones they're not watching, we think need to be traded out. So we've got a list in the back for the videos where you could have alternates for the videos to try out. So if one of them isn't hitting the goal, Another one can hit the goal. We'll try another one. If it doesn't hit the goal, we'll try the third one, right? So that way we're actually figuring it out. It's like, are people going to watch the videos or not, right? Are they interesting or not? Well, surely they tend to be. People like to watch video. We're just making sure we hit a goal so that we can set a precedent. If you want a certain number of signups, 3%. If you want 5% to see your video, if you want a percentage number of click-throughs on any of these conversion steps, you define and see how it goes, except guess what? We're building it in such a way that our website gets to track and make those adjustments on its own according to logic. So our website will decide what to do with the videos and when to trade them out. Our website will decide what to do with the subscribe email link. Our website will decide how to make adjustments to aim for the highest goals for each thing that we set to be a true priority. Many things are not priorities. Every section really just has two purposes. You read it or you click on something, right? Maybe you watch the video, but that's clicking on something. You're either going to read it or you're going to click on something. Maybe you'll read some and click on something, right? But other than that, a section has to have that much purpose, okay? If it doesn't have, if people aren't reading it and they're not clicking on it, it's in the way. Either it needs to be somewhere else, or if that's not proving to be helpful, we need to toss it out, right? So our websites make these decisions. Here's the other thing that's really cool about that. Like I said, it'll make decisions every however many people, like 25, 25, 25. If you go too fast, it's going to be really chaotic, right? You're not going to learn anything going too fast. People are different. You're aiming for averages. But if you go too slow, you're losing opportunity. So you just find a sweet spot, 25 people? And then you say, once 25 people have been doing whatever they're doing on the page, and we're tracking them, and we're measuring how things go, and we're making adjustments, right? That's great. Then we reset the counter for the next 25, reset the counter for the next 25. And our website stays with the last known positions for everything, but then it tracks the numbers again. And it aims for higher. Anything where it hit the goal, it's not going to make a change. It reached the goal you set, and it's not going to try anything else. It's going to maintain that goal by not changing anything. However, say you think, wow, maybe we can raise the goal now. I've got an even cooler video. You can go in, change out the video link, or put it in the repository to be checked next, and then you can raise the percentage higher. And you can sort of force your website to have to make the switch, right? So you can test higher. Now, here's the cool thing. Let's say that's a cycle, going through 25 people and figuring out all the numbers, and we can show them in a column. What section number, section name, action taken, and the percentage of the goal that was or wasn't met. Anything where we didn't set a priority, like goal is 0%, we're not going to track that. We're just going to have the things that we care about, okay? So how far people scroll is an automation thing that the website takes care of, maximizing scroll downs page by page as best it can. But our clickables, that's where we set goals, okay? And we just go ahead and make changes. The point is this, say that was cycle 1, and then the next 25 people is cycle 2, the next 25 is cycle 3, the next 25 is cycle 4. Well, we've got row 1, we can see it went up, it went down, it went up, it went down, whatever, the goals, right, trying to get them. And then row 2 going up and down, row 3 going up and down. Well, if we're going up 5, we should be seeing trends lifting soon. It's probably going to go up, down, and then up, and keep going up. If for some reason it's still like up, down, double check the goals, make sure they're realistic, but then we could put more cycles in. Because this is the memory of the website seeing the combinations that came before, so we can keep going through new combinations smartly. It also allows us to see how the numbers look for all these different things that we're tracking. We're going to make a visual graph showing the plotted points. We're going to color code each of those conversion actions right here in the admin panel. It's going to be like on a page like this or this page. It's probably going to be on a page like this. And it's literally going to show the evolution of the website's ability to more smartly govern the activities to raise your ROI. What's absolutely beautiful is that means this. Whether you're doing this for organics by getting more time on site and more interactions, clicks on stuff, or you're doing this through Google Ads, either one of those things is you're trying to get a better ROI from your Google Ads. They're both aiming for the same thing: more time on site and more interactions. And so one savvy thing to do is take some of those great pages that you really want to make money with and quickly run them through ads anyway to force them to adjust faster. Get like 100 or 200 or 500 people through, your main cycle or your main funnel fast, like in a few days, right? So that the pages adjust quickly to their best ROI standards. And then if that's already profitable on ads, it's already profitable on ads. But also, it's going to get more and more profitable on organics, huh? So isn't that neat? And that also means you could create a couple of cases. You could have one or more websites ranking organically. Maybe some of those are backlinks to foister them up. And then you have one or more websites that you specifically run ads to if they're like totally different themes and ideas. Because they're different. They're not like adjustable. They're totally different things and you're trying them out. That's where you split test, right? You try some of the different themes out, if you want to go that far. And then the reason that's wise, the wisdom in that is you get to find the best ROI for each theme really fast and decide what you want to do with it. And then for the organics, no matter how many sites you have, our next point beyond all the stuff that we're doing here for tracking and tracking over time in the graphs is that the websites get to meet once a month, check with the results from each other, figure out where the best conversion ratios are, and then broadcast that back out through the group. They all rise so that you get a better ROI. And then they run the tracking again for the next batch, the next cycle of 25 or however many people. Isn't that nuts? So you can write pages that compete with the top level pages in minutes. You can write 4 pages an hour if you really want that are competitive with the best competing websites out there for the keywords you want, just by hitting some buttons in the back and putting in some topic ideas and trying it once or twice or 3 times to just hitting the button, adding a little more info to steer it better, the name of a city or a company or phone number or something, and then try again. And next thing you know, you're able to create pages like that for different areas if you're going into different areas. But you're able to keep adding new topics anytime you want. You don't have to be an expert at any of it. You don't even have to speak English natively. And you're going to wind up just by clicking away with pages that beat the competitors. And your websites will go the extra mile of organizing for the best ROI, just self-organization, self-monitoring, so you don't have to monitor them. All you'll do is an occasional overview of how the whole thing is coming out. Check out your graph, watch the evolution, make sure you like the logic you gave it and the goals you wanted it to have. Goals that are too easy for it now, see if you can challenge one or more of those websites. Remember, you can test on just one. If you have 10, you can test one. And if it outperforms the other ones when they meet, they will learn that and they will bring it back through all the rest. That way your tests get to be controlled without messing up everything else you've got going on. How's that? All right, there's 3 places where this applies and you're just going to want to know it. If you go to website-installer.com, the main page, okay, website-installer.com, all these categories here, doesn't matter what template you get. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of them. They're all being equipped with this and they'll have this running live in like a week. We'll be finished doing our modeling and we'll push the updates out through all of them. And so every one of you guys who have a website from website-installer.com, just you'll look in your admin panel and voila, there all the new stuff is that you get to play with. How's that? No upsells. They're not features that you upsell to. It comes stock and standard with the template you get. Now, for those of you who say, awesome, but I really, I want to go further with my own website and I want you guys to do it professionally. Great. go to website-installer.com and hit super affiliate sites. Okay, used to be called professional services, but it was always misnamed, so I called it super affiliate sites. And when you go, you're going to recognize this. Some of you guys, this is older, the print, right? And the video's years old, but it's the same concept. I just need to update this page at one time or another. And so all the stuff is the same, but way better, supercharged compared to before. So if you're going, whether you're going for this, or this, just be realistic about your growth goals and how seriously you want to go. If you're going for any of these, right, the bigger the better by far, because these are going to be high quality backlinks pointing in at each other. There is a natural increase in the scale, even though the pricing is linear per page, but it's 5 pages does some good, 10 pages doubles that, but 100 pages doesn't just improve that 10 times over, it improves that like 25 times over. 1,000 pages doesn't just improve it, 100 times over, it improves it like 800 times over. It's huge, especially with all the new stuff we're doing now, because our websites are extraordinarily quality, and now the contents, what we're doing with these, we have professionals writing the set of rules that generates the contents onto the pages and pushes out winning variations across everything you have here. And then we just monitor and fact check and make sure that stack is great. Okay, so we play with the numbers a little bit on our end because we're making smart decisions based on what you do. All you have to do, though, is no matter what you're signing up for, okay, put in your email and put in the website you want us to market. We're going to backlink to it and promote it at the same time. Okay, now that's huge. Okay, so there's that. And it's all AI content. No matter how you go, it's all AI content. It's extraordinary. And it's a pain to start small and rise. You can do it, but just keep in mind, you might have to ask us to kill one subscription while you start another one, right? So right now it's payments through PayPal and or credit card, okay? But perfectly fine. You don't need a PayPal account to go through the guest checkout for a credit card or a debit card. What else do I want to say? With these guys, you're kind of on your own when you log in. If you go for the monthly deal, you're on your own. If you have any questions, ask. It's really easy to understand what to do in the back end, so we'll just guide you. If you're like, where do I go to get to the pay? You won't even ask because it's obvious. You'll be like, what do I put on that? You won't even ask because it's so obvious. I mean, there's really nothing you're going to ask us about how to operate it for the most part. But if you have a question, sure, ask. We'll help. Having said that, if when you get one of these things, you go annual, you get the annual, okay, we will come and look at what you did. All right, and you'll have the original spin tax breakout when you went and got it and filled in whatever you filled in, whether it's for that industry, like if you got a keto diet one and you did it for keto diet, or if you changed the industry and said, I want it for keto diet, I want it for this totally other thing over here, but I like that template, I really like that template, but I need new images and I got to change the content. Well, because when you bought this thing, you put in your keywords and services and stuff just naturally on the order form. If you go with annual when you buy it, we will go in and look at what you did, see how far you got with it, and then we will improve it ourselves. We will replace that baseline 5-page structure with proper content for you. We will change the images to the industry it's obvious you want, or the business it's obvious you want. And you will put what your the click here buttons click through to. So guess what goes there? Well, we just know if we click through and see what it is you're selling, right? Or where you're leading people, we know what you're selling. We know what kind of images to bring back over here, okay? So no problem, all right? And so if you get the annual, we'll just automatically make it a better production for you out the gate, okay? That is huge. Now, there's that. So you can do the one side at a time, but it's much cheaper if you want to take the step up to do this kind of a thing, okay? Like for instance, those websites, wherever the pricing is, you're going to see when you land there, but this might be like 2 of those, okay, per month, but you're going to get like 10, okay? So it's obviously a better deal to go here, to go way bigger and therefore way broader because we're doing everything right with these websites, right? And then the higher you climb, the better you'll do. You want really competitive keywords? You want to be like in real estate. You want to be in a, DUI attorney level, bankruptcy attorney level. Do you want to be climbing high? Do you want to be in something that has, Forex software? You want to be in the top of the top, most competitive stuff out there with the highest number of visitors? Then you need to go up in this level, right? This is like going all the way up in one area, like in one metro region. Like if you wanted to be a DUI lawyer in LA, okay, this is what you would need. If you want to be a DUI lawyer pitching it nationwide, this is what you need. But if you're going that far, the stuff we create for you is insane. Okay, we're going to come back to the tracking, but you're going to also have access to the metrics. You're going to be able to see the graphs. You're going to see your websites evolve. You're going to see the new contents, the new images. And by watching how your visitors act, we're going to be able to make changes to make that thing profitable for you. It's going to be hard to guarantee how profitable everything is for everyone, but the fact of the matter is you will see constantly improving work and you will get paid a lot of money, because when you come in with top quality content like this and you let the website fix issues that are stopping people from buying, people will eventually start buying because they like it. Okay? And then you still have the access on your sites to be able to do what? Go in and generate new pages about anything you want, write top quality content, stick it up in the menu too, so that you're also reaching out to those new topics. How's that for amazing? Then just let us know if you created new pages that you want us to backlink into directly. Show us what new content you created, and we'll take that concept to create new content for your referral sites that point in at you. That's like having your super affiliate army saying, hey, guess what he just launched, or guess what she just launched? The newest thing on their site. Click here, go there, get it, right? So yeah, I mean, you're going to want this army. Everybody wants to market. This is the right kind of marketing, because it's you're paying the flat fee for the obvious stuff, but you're not having to pay for the ads on top of it. Okay, and this is cheap. You know what the price is? It comes to $2.50 per optimized web page. $2.50 for every perfect web page written to rank and self-monitored by the website to improve its own conversions. And when we write, just in case anyone forgot, I want to make this clear. And of course, my shortcuts aren't there for that right now. I've been doing too many things too fast. I wonder if it's here. I forget which it's in. Not there, but this other one. Okay. When we write, okay, we go through auditing. We make sure to get your web page up where it needs to be. It's got the right number of words, the right number of paragraphs, the right number of headings, the right number of images, page by page, so that you're in the green, so that you can possibly rank for the keyword. We'll include all the substructure keywords in there, so you're going to rank for tons of these combinations that have to do with words up in here along with words down in here in any sensible order. Okay? That is what you want. And I don't know anyone else who does it this way. So having said all that, it's great. The other thing we can do, if you want a newsletter, is we can wind up capturing the email addresses and pounding them into your newsletter so that you can just keep dripping on them, anything you want to drip. Anyone know the numbers? If you've got 1,000 guys on your newsletter, you should be able to make 100,000 a year. If you've got 2,000 guys on your newsletter, you should be able to make 200,000 a year. That's just, really average, but that is what guys with email lists will tell you, is that these are reasonable numbers. And I know firsthand, they are reasonable numbers. It's a smart way to think about it. All right, having said that, what's the other thing you can consider? Is decrypt my leads, because some of you are going to ask me immediately. I'm bringing it up now. Claim this position. This is the most expensive selection of things that we have. The higher the offset, the greater the cost. And the more populous the area, the greater the cost. Although it's linear, it's literally based on population. And so when you say, I want to pitch concrete contractors in Spokane, Washington, that's a $2,567 program, right? I'm going to have to do a separate breakdown for this, but now that we're reaching this level, I've got a couple of things I'm going to point out. The payments, if you're making this kind of a payment to us, we're not needing to split the payment with you to hit the goal. We can just straight pay you out right away. And the goal on something like this at this offset level is 3 to 4 times over within a year. That means either we can get you there, or if we can't, all that money you made this year, you get to keep it anyway, and we got to restart the clock for the next year. So in 2 years, you're going to make so much, because the next year won't be 3 to 4 that you get to make for the whole year. You'll be in for the whole year. So by that second year of perfect adjustments, if we miss the goal the first, second one, you'll probably be like 3 times over. You're probably going to have like 9 times your money back on top of the 2 times your money back from the first year. It's like 11 times your money in 2 years, okay? And that is when we're able to say, okay, we met our end of the agreement and you're set. But you can always come get other positions for as long as they last. Big things in here, like real estate, okay? These are 6 times over that we absolutely intend to get you in the first place. It's also one of the most expensive jobs, but we're at a point now where we can direct all the cash your way at this level, with this writing, with this direction, if you're coming in this way, okay? Because we've never been able to do this before, and we've gone through just a lot of programming expense to get here, but we can now create the perfect pages efficiently and rapidly, and we can monitor them with ease from our central panel, seeing all this data and then just organizing it so we can ensure that things are working out right. We're actually so far that some of the tracking methods we have are pretty wild. We can, on our end, we can run a recording, and the recording recorded all the mouse motions and clicks that people hit when they went through a page. So we already know what the page is. So our recording basically puts the page up and then replays how they went through the entire site, what they did. So we're watching them interact so that we can see everything that made sense to them, everything that didn't, everything we need to do to make the page better. That is us looking in case there are any questions there. What else do we have running in parallel? Our backup workhorse, which is also doing the same thing from the inside. The web pages independently are checking how far down people scroll and adjusting the sections to improve that number, and what people click on, and whether they're goals, and if so, how to make adjustments to improve those numbers also. And we can take those emails of people who land on the web pages and drop them into an email list and drip on them. We can do a 10-day series and drip on them because we can use the same AI tools that write the web pages to write those email newsletters so that they are convincing. We're at a point now where AI done right is writing better than a human can. It writes a more convincing, compelling, engaging pitch than a human. And we have all that built into all of our website structures now, and we can auto-propagate that from our central panel. So all of our web pages produce the top quality pitch onto web pages that self-monitor for the best conversion actions, okay? I don't know anyone else who does anything like that. And you can still grab some of those and run them through ads to force them to get an even higher ROI faster so that the rest of the pages can learn from that organically. And that could be a profitable ad. So you might really push that and then look at some of the other angles you can take on. All right. Well, all the prices are where they're at. The cheapest thing is you go to website-installer.com and start a subscription either monthly, and it's on you. We'll tell you what you need to do to log in, put some simple headers, hit a button, and it generates page content that you can save, and you're done creating that page. You can generate another page. So it's a touch of research, like 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes of the page rendering once, twice, or 3 times to get the data right. And then like another 5 minutes of just cleaning up the final production, make sure it came out right, and hitting save. 15 minutes for a perfectly competitive web page that you didn't have to think through. Isn't that insane? And then, like I said, just set a few goals. make them modest. I'm looking for 4% YouTube visitor views, and I'm looking for 3% signups to my newsletter. If you're using the payment section, I'm looking for, 1 or 2% payments right now. But that's okay. I'll get more for the newsletter. Anyway, just set your goals, okay? So that your websites can adjust themselves. I never heard of that before, but it's happening. It's so cool. All right, there's that. And then whether you're making yourself one or more websites with different, like you could create like 3 ventures. So you're doing 3 websites that are your main websites right from here. And then for each of those, you might want to come in here. Maybe one of those things is low competition and 2 are medium competition. They're all nationwide. So you're going to go for and think this way. Think this is selling something that's very low competition in one area. Okay, so this is niche, local, right? That might be like a homeopath in a small town. This would be a homeopaths nationwide. And that's because there are lots and lots and lots of small towns and medium towns that you're going to be able to break ice in. This is medium competition, one area. So like if you're in Chicago or Denver or Houston or wherever, Atlantic City, this would be for that area. Tampa, this would be for that area, for a medium competition thing. This is going nationwide for the medium competition thing, right? This is high competition, one area, high competition nationwide. If you think that way, you're just making smart decisions. You're obviously allowed to go anywhere you want, but I've had guys say, can I just start here and let it grow first before I move up? And the answer is, if you start here, it may not be able to grow up as fast as all your competition together is beating it down. Like if you really should be here, then this will probably not do anything for you. You're basically just wasting the money. Until you realize you got to be more realistic, and then you pick it up, okay? So be realistic. If anything, overdo in the beginning and then back off a bit. You can always say, hey, I got to cancel at the high end and come in at a lower end. That way I got a strong kick, and now just, tap it off every month. You can do that. That's smarter, okay? Just so you know. But of course, if you're just gung-ho and you want to grow hard and you really want to take over as much as you can, as fast as you can, then just aim where you feel you should aim based on my description. Okay. And then finally, for the guys who are like, I don't want to do a thing. I don't want to think about the main website and the super affiliate websites. I just want you to do it for us. Come in and claim the position. Here's why. We already decided on our end that whatever level you're coming in at, you are probably industry agnostic. You're probably location agnostic, unless you tell us otherwise, because it's for your company and your company only. So you're doing this to get this mass load of power to get a bunch of leads to you, which you can do. And it's really a cheaper way than going through Google Ads all the time to get a lot done. So if you're a real estate agent in the Spokane, Washington area, for that much money, we will make a dent so massive using everything I've just been describing that you're going to start to outdo your competition. And since the sale of a single house gives you in the Spokane area about, double that in terms of a payout, then all you need is one sale to make your money back and then be in profit already off that one sale. Do you think you can just get one sale, get at least just one sale in a year from all the stuff I've been showing you? Yeah. So this is a really good way to go. So if you are in your own industry, in your own area, doing this for yourself or with a pal who's might be a partner in a different area, or you want to set up kind of franchising some of your buddies, agents, partners, whatever it is, let me know. Let's work that out, okay? And there's a good way to go for that. Otherwise, you want leads to be sold to companies in that area, and you want to collect the revenue from those leads getting sold. You know what's cool about our leads? When we're tracking these behaviors in here, okay, user tracking, we track who the users are. In other words, we track by IP address, and as many of you know, the purpose of Decrypt My Leads is to reverse engineer who those people are by IP address. Locate their email, their name, their phone number, their address, other stuff about them, so that that company can reach back out to them smartly. Maybe send them a flyer in the mail. Maybe leave a message on their voicemail, just coincidentally. Hey, I heard you might be in the market for da 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 da. We're really good at that. Da 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 da. You know. Or just shoot them an email. Or we can add them to your newsletter. You can start dripping on them. They can buy from other people in the meantime because they're also going to come back and buy from you when they hear something great come out of what you're doing. So all those things, right? So people pay for all that. They'll pay for the emails to get added to their newsletter. They'll pay for the phone call or the leads to call or the leads to mount. And of course they should. And of course that makes sense. But you know what we get to do? We get to even establish level of interaction. What do I want? Engagement. We can tell if this guy, this lead, was not engaged. He landed on the site, bounced off it, never did anything at all. We know that. We'll assign him an engagement score of 0. This guy went through 5 things, including hit one of our goals. We're going to assign him an engagement score of 4 out of 5, something like that. So if we are assigning engagement scores to each of the leads that we're passing through on a sale, those guys can decide who they want to call first, second, third, and if they don't want to call the rest of the guys or not. We can even just sell them when they meet a certain engagement score. A company goes, I only want the top engaged people. Well, they'll get the fewest. A lot of companies are going to say, wait. How about you give me the top, 20% engagement, like 4s and 5s, on a scale of 1 to 5, you're giving me guys who are 4s and 5s, 80% and up. It's like, okay, it's going to be a lot more people. And it's like, okay, I'm going to work with that. I want to know what all their scores are. I want to call the 5s first, then the 4s. But I'll take the 4s and the 5s. Okay, does that make sense? There you go. Okay, I can say this. Prices are really low. We're coming into power you wouldn't believe. People are going to start making money like mad. Prices are going to go up. You know where you want to be? Among the people who got grandfathered in at the lower prices, and you're growing with that project because you're on the inside as this thing ramps up. Don't miss, because we have never done anything this powerful before, but as you can see, it's everything you need to run the show. So don't miss. Get it. Decide and get something, and let me know what you're doing. And like I said, don't forget that if you come in a website installer, you can go monthly, it's on you. If you go annually, we're going to take you a lot further. And then you're probably going to want to go to the super affiliate sites to say, now that my main site is hot, I want to back it up with a lot of backlinks. Backlinking is like 85% of how you rank. Other websites saying you're great ranks you higher. And since these websites are also selling you, they're super affiliates. And so they're driving you up and selling you at the same time. You wind up with a lot more power. And for those of you who say, I want to do that for a thing I want to sell, that's where you go. If you don't know what you want to sell, but you want to make money, help us create these projects that get leads to these guys and get your money from that. Okay? Pay us to build the projects, get your money from that. When we're done paying you out at this exorbitant high amount, considering how much a bank would give us for this, and sooner or later we're going to be showing the bank our numbers, and we're not going to need to keep this open anymore. The guys who are in are grandfathered in for as long as this thing runs, and they get to stay in until we meet our obligations to them anyway. Okay? And so if I were you, I would latch on to as many positions as you could along the way if you want to go that route. Because I don't care, and neither do you, really, which industry or location. You're just really telling us how much money you're willing to spend. You're saying, here's what my budget is. You chose something, maybe you like it because you know it. Then you're like, I really know credit repair is a great thing to make money in fast. And you're like, that's as much as I can afford. Maybe I can go I can go a little further. Maybe I can go a little further. You're just deciding, right? And then boom. And then we owe you. We owe you at least 3 times back. Depends on the offset. Okay. But the reality check is within a year, we've got to pay you 3 times. You just get another year for free. And then however much you make, you get another year for free. Except that, within the first or second year, obviously we're going to pay you 3 times back because with everything we're doing, it's just going to happen. So you make a lot of money that way. Okay. Now, like I said, if you can go with real estate, it becomes a bigger deal. I mean, imagine how much money you can make if you're going here right? And you're like, because this is set for 6 times back. So it's 5 times more than what you paid. So it's over 100 grand extra before we get to release you from the program. Okay. It's huge. It's a way to go. And if you're coming in at this level, you're helping us do a massive thing. So do you know what? We'll do as many extra populations for you as we need to make it happen. We really want you out in that first year. Once you go in, we're locked in. So we're going to rush to get you out. So we're going to rush to hit that goal of 6 times over and get you out. But in the meantime, because we're doing that, that's setting us up for being able to show banks later, hey, look at how much money we're making. And the bank will say, okay, I'm going to give you, like a 4% annual or a 6% annual with whatever the Fed rates are. And for, this many positions. And we'll be like, okay, then we can close this down. So the only guys who are locked in are the guys who got in. Okay. If I were you, I'd be interested in this. And the payments, if you've got a PayPal account, then once you're on the inside, you're going to put your PayPal account in there. And what we're going to do is set it in the system so that all the payments for everything, all the positions that we do, that we decide are going to feed to you, all of those are going to feed the payments straight in your PayPal. You're just going to receive a lot of payments. If that's a problem for you, we don't need to set it that way. Just let us know. We'll take it in on our end. And then if we have to bank wire it to you or money order it to you or just send it to you, PayPal, like all at once and explain to PayPal, yes, you did earn that much money. You're not a thief. Because I've had people say, can I get 40K payments on PayPal and stuff like that? Can I send 40K? They just never knew you could. And the answer is, of course you can. But when PayPal sees you do it for the first time, they're leery. When they see that that is a range you operate in, they quit being leery. Like I can take large payments and PayPal doesn't consider it. But they used to. If I get a much larger payment than I've ever been used to, then PayPal put it on hold for a few days, just making sure that the sender doesn't say they got ripped off. But if the sender calls in and says, no, that is a definite transaction, I mean for the money to go through, then it'll go through. Same thing. If we go to pay you in your PayPal and PayPal blocks it for a few days, we just let us know. We'll call PayPal and say, no, it's clear. We absolutely are us. We absolutely did send you that. That's okay. And then PayPal will be like, all right, fine, no problem, no fraud here. And they'll pass it through right away. Okay, just so you know. All right, this has been a long and cool recording. I think you guys must have gotten a lot out of it. I know I did. And I am definitely dying to see who of you leaps into this stuff. It is what day? The 19th? In 3 days, I turn 50. Oh, we're leaving this smoke-filled area. It's horrible wildfires in Seattle. The air quality is 222 or something right now when it should be like 20. It's particulates. It's bad. The world's burning down outside. That's kind of the idea. Well, we're going down to the ocean. We got this 9-bedroom apartment or 9-bedroom house on the ocean looking out in Oregon. And we're going to go down there and hang out. That's going to be my 50th, and I'm going to enjoy it, and we're going to be able to breathe. And that'll be it. Then I'll come back and get busy. And all you guys who are on the inside, this is the right place to be. It's the right place to be, no matter how you want to engage, whether you want to get yourself a website with a bunch of super affiliate websites, or you just want us to set up super affiliate websites for you or your clients, or you want to just come in this way and start picking up lead revenue, or if you want to do a little of all of it. I mean, pick and choose and dive in. It's a lot of fun to play in here, okay? Man. All right. I'm looking forward to working with you, so I'll talk to you soon. Hope to see you on the inside before long. Don't miss. This is great. I don't know. It's a weird world. AI is taking over things, so we said we have to get ahead of it. If everyone's doing great AI on their pages, how do we make ours better? We make our website self-monitor by watching the human activity and improving upon it to get the right tactics. Okay? There you go. Yeah, it's awesome. Talk to you soon.